5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
You're listening to the GHT Overland podcast.
Test. Hello? Microphone. Hey, it works. Holy cats, it's been a while, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that was a ride.
It's a bumpy one.
It was very bumpy. It was like being in a 1992 Unimog with bad shocks. Going down a very bumpy
road.
Logging road.
We got through it.
Whew, we're here. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes, Happy New Year to everyone. We wish you much happiness and safe adventures in 2020. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the GHT Overland podcast.
Now, as we fire back up the engines of the GHT Overland podcast, to be fair, it might be like restarting an old diesel engine in Siberia.
Oh, cold.
There might be some puffs of smoke, a few backfires or misses. We will do our best because this is absolutely what we love doing. Meeting so many of you in person and over the air is nothing short of awesome. Today's episode is one we recorded in the middle of September, so like 3.5 months ago.
I always look forward to our interviews with anyone from Germany.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They're always so energetic and fun to talk with.
Facts. Very, very true. Today's guest brought a lot of passion along with an enormous amount of experience in overland travel. It was fun going back as we did the editing with Dirk and Sonja. If I remember right, they have been through 30-ish countries, at least from the time we talked to them.
Wow.
They have a 1992 Unimog and have had zero, at least from the time we talked to them, breakdowns other than their shocks going out, which made a bumpy ride for them. Pretty impressive, really.
So if they were in Panama when we talked to them, do we know where they're at now?
I believe they are in northern Argentina.
Oh, wow. I wonder what the weather's like.
Thunderstorms, temperatures from the 90s to the 60s at night, and reasonably high humidity.
Oh, sticky. Okay, Mr. Meteorologist, I don't think I have any other questions. Oh,
right.
Wait,
right.
I do have one. Can we go into the interview now?
You want to push the button?
Yes.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on the GHT Overland podcast. This is where you get the greatest interviews and insights from overland travelers around the globe, learning from their stories and experiences as we interview overlanders from places like Australia, Africa, the Americas, Portugal, and today in Panama. You will learn the basics to the advanced in overlanding, so buckle up and get ready for a new adventure. I'm Chris.
And I'm Lisa. Today's featured guests are Sonja and Dirk. You may know them from social media as ELMO's Odyssee, as they are traveling the world. Today, we are humbled to have them join us to learn from their experiences and stories of overland travel.
So, without further ado, welcome to the podcast, guys.
Hi, this is Dirk from Germany.
Hi, this is Sonja from Germany. Welcome to the audience.
Going around the world.
That's awesome. So, guys, thanks for taking the time this morning to join us. So, if you would, fill us in on any blanks we may have left out in your introduction and give us a little bit more information on you, if you would.
Okay, so Dirk is about 52 years old. I have been 20 years self-employed as a motorbike mechanic, and I stopped working 8 years ago and just saved my money before and then we just decided to go traveling around the world. In my first life, I have been a military policeman, and at home, I am now working with hunting birds, falcons. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm Sonja. I'm 49 years old, but I'm stopped working 2 years ago, and then we bought this Unimog truck and hit the road, babe.
Tell us what inspired overland travel for you.
Oh, for me, there's a long story behind it. So I started traveling on a motorbike in 1989. And before this, my father used to be an international truck driver. So during my school time, I have been maybe 30 times in Paris, 20 times in Portugal, and everywhere in Europe. And I think this is the roots for me, of going to different countries and see different things. So before we start the trip with the Unimog truck, I've already traveled more than 70 countries on a motorbike.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I go with this man.
So how long have you guys been traveling overland in your Unimog?
1.5 years now.
Yes.
We decided to leave Germany for about 2 years, so we have 6 months off to go down to South America.
That's great. So did you guys spend a lot of time planning the trip, or would you recommend, like to us, either planning for more or less time?
Thing is, my wife, she was very clever. She said to me, I don't want to do it on a motorbike because I'm too lazy to sleep in a tent and on the ground and things like this. And so I said, okay, then we do it in a big truck. But then it has to be a big one with big tires and four-wheel and all the stuff which comes with it for the dirt roads and mud and water. And so we bought the Unimog truck. But the Unimog truck wasn't finished, and I needed about 3 years to do the finish of the truck. And she said, yeah, I will give you three years. And so we went into the world for test rides and things, and bits and bytes, and changed this and this. And after 1 year, she said to me, no, I want to set up now. I said, the truck's not finished. It doesn't matter, we can do it on the road. I said, yes, we can do it on the road, but then we have to do really work on the road sometimes. And so we did. We just started the trip with an unfinished truck. And that gave us not big problems, but from time to time we had to take a week off somewhere and doing things in the garage and change bits and things. And well, yeah, we are good. Yeah.
Yes.
So we are not planning very much where we go. We just decide new in the morning. The direction is going around the world and move on every day a little bit. And what comes, we don't know.
Yes.
That's
the
good.
way to the destination.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit more information on your truck, and then where did you get the name ELMO from?
It's an acronym. I don't know if it is the right word in English, acronym. So if you put together different words, what the Unimog is standing for, and so we decided, or we thought, Unimog is a sort of expedition. This is the E. Survival, which means in Germany überleben, is the L, and it's mobile. It's the MO. And so we come to the ELMO. And for me, on a motorbike, I discovered already, if you are on a let's say, starship motorbike like the Enterprise, with all the luggage and all the stuff and 400 kilos of everything, and you are looking like an astronaut and you're coming through the desert of Mauritania, people will fear you. But if you have something friendly on the bike, like a teddy bear or something in the front, then it makes it friendly. And the people think, oh, there's a teddy bear on the bike, he must be friendly, he's not very angry or something. And it's the same with the Unimog truck. It looks very, very much military. Even when it is white, you think it's an ambulance military 4x4 truck. And now with the ELMO on it, it's just friendly. So people take over us and they wave to us and they look, who's behind the steering? And so they really think there must be ELMO inside. So it makes it just more easier to get in contact with the people and having contact. That's what we want, actually, to talk to the people. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
But in Australia, we meet a guy from Mercedes-Benz, and he told us, no, this ELMO, it's not expedition living mobile. This is extreme lovely Mog owners.
That's great. So what's some more details on the truck? Like what year is it, and any other details you can give us there?
Okay, before we start the trip, we had to think about what can we use, what is an easy technique with not much electronic and not the blue tech thing and all what comes with it and all the cleaning stuff and the exhaust. And there's only one, and this is a Unimog truck which is built now since 70 years. And the Unimog trucks, they are on the top end of the four-wheel trucks. So if you are building, let's say, a Hyundai four-wheel truck, it has to compare to a Unimog index. So they will check how far developed is the Hyundai to a Unimog truck. So it's still on the top end. And it's very military, easy technique. At the end, we can run on seed oil, not diesel. And we can do 5,000 meter hills without getting problems with the air or fuel or whatever. And the truck itself, it's made in 1992, but it was never used. We bought it with about 8,500 kilometers only, first owner, and it was still like factory new. And yeah, that's the Unimog. Very big engine, 6 liters, 166 horsepower, no, 63, sorry. And a little turbo. It's 8 gears reverse, 8 gears forward.
That's crazy. That's great.
It can climb 55 degrees. They told us we will never discover this. I wouldn't go 55 degrees. I would kill myself. But the truck probably is able to do it. And we can do water up to 120 centimeters without problems.
Well, I guess you can go wherever you want to go.
Yes, but
yes. Sometimes it is too high for gates or trees, or sometimes he is too heavy to cross a little bridge or this. But the most of the time we can go, yes, everywhere.
So the weight is about 6.8 tons. And I think we did a bridge in Russia. It was a pontoon bridge from the military, made for 4.5 tons. But we are here, so...
I visualize a little wibbly wobbly.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Some water on the bridge, you're right.
So, about your cooking setup, any recommendations for our listeners for putting theirs together?
Okay, cooking.
There's a little kitchen in ELMO, so we can a really good dinner or lunch. There is 4 flames. I don't know. It's had in Germany. Cooker, yes. 4 flames cooker in it, and sink and fridge.
Bathroom.
We have toilet and shower.
Outside shower.
And we can use this shower also outside. We have solar panel on the roof, so we don't need power from outside. We are autark.
So for the cooker, is it a 4-burner? Do you have an oven as well, or just the 4-burner? Is it gas? Is it diesel? What is it powered from?
It's gas.
It's a gas burner, yeah.
Yeah. Also, the warm water heater is gas, but we carry 2 11-kilo bottles with us, and 1 bottle will last for about 6 months. Sometimes it's not. We mostly have to empty them when we ship the truck from A to B. They want empty bottles on a ship, and that brings us in trouble if we come to a different country, because we are running on European system. And then you have, for instance, the Australian system. and they only have 9 kilo bottles, and they are not allowed to fill up 11 kilo bottles, and blah 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 blah. So, but so far we always found a solution to fill up the bottles.
Yes, there's always people who got the system, and we can connect with our system, because we have I think 4 or 5 adapter.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a way.
And there's one thing on the road. People are always friendly, and they always try to help. And what we say before we start the trip, we have 1,000 friends, we just don't know them. And it's exactly like this. If you really have a problem, people will talk to other people, they will talk to other people, and sometimes there will come a taxi driver, pick up your bottle, and come back with a full bottle. So who cares? That's what happens on the road.
Yes.
And we are running on a diesel heater system for inside. So when it gets cold, we are running on a diesel system. Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't need it much.
No.
There was only a few days in the Pamir. We have
Tajikistan.
to use the heater. But here, no heater need.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a Webasto, or what kind of heater do you use?
It's a Webasto heating system.
Okay.
And it's connected to the diesel tank. So it's very reliable and special made for going in the hills because of the different oxygen in the air. Some diesel heaters will give you problems, but this one might work.
Okay, and when you were using that, did you have any like moisture buildup problems?
No problems at all. So you can buy everything everywhere, and so far, no, nothing.
Okay, but it didn't create a bunch of condensation on the inside?
Sometimes we have condensation, but we get used to it, and now we know that it is very easy if you go to sleep and set up the heater and leaving 2 windows a little bit open, that the air can go through it. No condensation in the night anymore.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And what is that one thing you value the most, either on or in your vehicle?
Oh, that's my bed.
Yes. Every night.
That's awesome.
Sometimes in the day.
Yeah. So we bought a very comfortable mattress, and we figure out already when the truck is on a ship, it takes mostly 40 to 50 days to go from one continent to the other. And in this time, we are doing backpacking in different countries and renting a little car and going from one motel, hotel, hostel to the next. And we can tell you now, no hotel bed and no pillow is like yours.
No.
So we always miss our bed. So the bed is, for me, the most important thing.
What kind of mattress are you using?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a special,
like a remember.
Body foam thing. You lay on it, and it will remember your body, and it's very comfortable, very, very nice.
Yeah. It's.
Anything different for you, Sonja?
In English. It's a mattress too, but I use every day my bathroom inside.
Okay, so it's like a full bathroom, like the toilet, shower, sink, everything?
Yes, it's a full bathroom, yes. And it's very big to the rest of the ELMO.
Yeah, we are living on 7 square meters. It's very, very small, but it's fully contained. So it's like a whole house. Sometimes we are making fun if somebody is in the bed and somebody went to the toilet, and we say, "Oh, when you pass the kitchen, can you bring me this and this?" But it's only actually from the bed to the bathroom is 1 step. So, yeah,
that's awesome. So, what are the interior dimensions? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it's 240 meters to 3 meters.
I don't understand. Sorry. Yes, it's 2.35 wide and long it's 3.15
But
meters.
that's only the box.
Yes,
Yeah.
this
The whole
is
truck?
the whole box.
Yep.
And the high is about 180, so we can stand inside. And the whole length of the truck is about 6 meters. And the high is 335
Yes,
meters.
so the truck is very short. We can go in a parking lot in
In a
the front
Walmart.
of a supermarket.
Yeah.
It's no problem for us to park there. Other overlander have to go on 2, 3, 4, 5 parking lots, not in the right direction. But we can stay in one parking lot like a car. That's very nice.
Elmo's mighty and compact.
Yes. Very,
Yes.
very compact.
But
Yes.
I think the tires are really, really big and heavy. So I think one tire will be between 80 to 100 kilograms. And it has a high of about 80 centimeters.
Hi.
Yeah, so the high of it.
Yes. 18,
Today we have to rotate the tire. Maybe we do it in 2 days because it's really hard work to lift up the truck with the jacks and getting off the tires and rotate them. Because of the profile, it saves you more profile if you rotate the tire very remotely. So we do it every 10,000 kilometers.
Anything you originally packed that you never used or removed from your overall setup?
Let me
yes,
think about
my
that.
clothes. There are clothes in my cupboard and I never used in this time.
And I am very happy to tell you, I bought all the spare parts of the world and I never used anything about it.
But you
Oh,
give it
that's
to
great.
other overlanders.
It's great. So what are your current top 2 or 3 destinations, along with a little detail on what made them so special for you?
We start in Germany, and in the beginning we cross to Romania. In the first time we saw this little castle Bran in Romania. This was for me, in the first time, a very nice spot. And Dirk says, this is a RO point. All the people come and make... This little castle is from Bram Stoker in Dracula used. Not for filming, it's for the... I don't know, for the book, yeah.
He was inspired.
Yeah, he was inspired from this little castle. And this was my first RO point.
The next one for me was Samarkand in Uzbekistan. This is a very much Silk Road city, and they have this very famous mosque. And I've seen already a lot of mosques in Africa and Eastern countries, but this one was just a very, very nice setup in the evening with all the lights, really big and very impressive. Yeah, I like it very much. This one.
Yeah, every country has this own spot that I like very much. But I say the people we meet on the road, these are the real highlight for me, because they are so friendly and we came in contact so fast about the ELMO truck. All the people want to know, oh, what is it? Can I go inside and have a look, please? And this is great. People are great all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And
How many different countries have you guys been to?
Oh, I didn't count them really, but I think about 30.
Yeah.
30 already, maybe?
Ah, yeah.
Okay, so you started in Germany. You've also been in Australia. And
yes.
then you've been in the Middle East, and now you're in Panama.
Oh, yes.
That's great.
So it's a world round trip, to be fair. So we made it to the very, very far east of Russia, all the way to Vladivostok, and we traveled through all the Stan countries and the Eastern Europe countries. Not all Stan countries, because I've been to Pakistan before, and we split Afghanistan, which is probably too dangerous. And so we decided to see the other Stan countries, Mongolia, and from Vladivostok. Oh, there's another thing. I really like and enjoy traveling through Siberia. Since a few years you can do it by road. Before you have to do it by train. But Putin, he did a road, and it's like a little highway, and it's just amazing to drive through this area for thousands of kilometers, remote, and only the truck drivers and you. And yeah, I enjoy it. And so we ship from Vladivostok to Melbourne, and then.
Yeah, in this time, we go to Japan by plane, and this was a 3 weeks trip, and we use trains in Japan, the very fast bullet trains, and we saw a little bit the big cities, and we visit Hiroshima. This was a very hard stuff. But in the end, we come to Tokyo, and this is a funny city. All the crazy things in Tokyo. That was nice. And after this, we stay a little bit in Indonesia before we go to Melbourne and pick up the truck. And yeah, then we did all Australia with the ELMO truck. And in Australia, there is a big community of Unimog driver, because the military use Unimog, and now it's a time they are old and they sell the Unimogs to the public people. It's right? I don't know. And many guys are really in love with these Unimog trucks.
So if you've got 6 months left on the road, where do you plan on ending the trip before you ship back home?
We would like to end in Uruguay and shipping back from Montevideo, but we are not sure in the moment, because from here in about 2 weeks we will ship from here to Colombia. There is no way to cross by road to Colombia. There's the Darien Gap, and you can't go through it with a car or whatever. It's just, let's say, hundreds of kilometers mud. So it's very dangerous, and you can't go through it. There's no street. And we think the Northern Americans just didn't build a street so everything stays in South America. It's like a fence, a natural fence. So we had to do it by ship, which is here in Panama not so easy. Give you a hard time. We have to go through it. And so we ship around 2023 to Colombia. And from there, you have to go to Ecuador before you can go down to Peru. But in Ecuador, there are riots now, and they are blocking the street because of the fuel prices rises up from, let's say, $1.30 to $2.30, and people are getting nuts, to say it clear. And in the moment, we are very much in contact with Ecuadorian groups on Facebook, and they all just write, if your visa just gives it to you, stay in Colombia and wait. But the government already said for the next 60 days, it's gonna be a problem. So we don't hope, but it might be happen that the trip will end in Colombia, and then we do a little bit Colombia, and then we ship back, and then we have to do something else by plane. But the plan is to go to Ecuador and Peru and then down to Uruguay. Yeah, we would like to do this, but we have to. We are not crazy. So if we see it is not safe So why running into the knife? We are not doing this. And we just stopped doing it.
So how do you generally make those decisions on safety on the road? So how do you make sure that where you're going to go is a good, safe place to go? What kind of either websites or connections on Facebook do you use to make those decisions?
In these times, Facebook is a really good source for it. There are so many overlanding groups of the different countries, and also you met other travelers on the road which are going the other way, and they will give you directly informations. And there are some apps on the phones, like the iOverlander map, which I really recommend to other travelers. It's the iOverlander app. And there you can find all the places where you can stay, and people are like us. If we found a nice, safe spot, we just put a mark on it and a little text on it, and so the next one will know. And also, if you need administration things, you can find it on the iOverlander. It's very easy now, compared to 25 years ago, where you had to go with a map and a compass through the desert. It's just like this. And what I say, Facebook it's a big source. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Facebook and iOverlander is the most important things. To,
How do you generally do your laundry on the road?
Oh, there are so many laundries on the campgrounds or in the cities. You can give your laundry for 4 hours and get it back. That's no problem.
And also we have these big containers with a lid. And so it's a 10-liter container or 15-liter, I don't know exactly. You put in your stuff, some water and the cleaning stuff, and then you drive the whole day on a dirt road. So it bumps a little bit. And in the evening, it's all clean.
It's clean, yes.
Easy, yeah.
That's perfect. How often do you use that compared to using a laundry service?
I use a laundry service because it's easier.
That's awesome. Good for
and
you.
It's not expensive. It's very cheap here in these countries. The most expensive laundry we had in Russia, but the lady was very nice and it was very clean stuff, and she had I think 3 hours and great work. Yep. But this was not cheap.
Is there anything you change about your current setup?
Oh, yes. We had to change the shock absorbers. And what else? The extra tank fell off. So we had to renew the brackets of the extra tank on the road, and these are the main things.
So the overall setup, though, if you were to do it all over again, is there anything that you would change?
Just now, let me think. What would I change on the truck? I would like to have an engine brake, which is very loud, but very nice if you go down the hills. So if you have a downhill of about, let's say, 25 or 30 kilometers, yeah, there are downhill street, 35 kilometers. You have to do it in a third or fourth gear. Otherwise, the brakes will getting very, very hot. And so that means you go down for 1.5 hours. If you have an engine brake, might be better. So, but we can't do it on the road. So, and I wouldn't do it at home. But next time I would fix it in. Yes.
Okay. So if you would, tell us about the number one biggest challenge you've had to overcome on the road.
I think for me, Tajikistan.
Yes, Tajikistan, the Pamir Highway. This was the biggest challenge.
So that was kind of crazy. A 1992 Unimog that only had 8,000 kilometers when they purchased it. And once again, it's all about the people. And Dirk and Sonja took the extra steps to make sure ELMO was friendly looking and fun, so people found them much more approachable, and they would have more interactions with people as they traveled along their ways. From Germany to castles in Romania, then to Australia, and now in South America, so many great stories and experiences.
So remember, it's a good idea to visit the show notes page on our website at ghteoverland.com/podcasts. Select the ELMO's Odyssey episode. Lots of good details and helpful links are listed for you. Be sure to follow them on social media. Just look up ELMO's Odyssey. That's spelled ELMO's, E-L-M-O-S, Odyssey, O-D-Y-S-S-E-E.
And a big thank you to our Patreon supporters. Your support of the podcast truly means the world to us. If you'd like to help support the show, possibly scoring a stainless tumbler or t-shirt, take a look at the options while you're there. If you'd like, you can send any questions, suggestions, and feedback, which we always love to hear, at ghteoverlandpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love it if you'd connect with us on the social medias at ghteoverland. And then be sure to share the episode with your friends who enjoy travel and adventure. Overlanding travel is all about meeting your 1,000 future friends, as Dirk would say, seeing the most amazing places on Earth, and of course, new food and new drinks.
We'd greatly appreciate your time of a quick rate and review of the GHT Overland podcast. It makes a ginormous difference for us to show up on all the podcast platforms. GHT is showing gratitude, being humble, and having the tenacity to tackle your dreams. Thank you, and we will see you next Thursday for part 2 of the GHT Overland podcast with Dirk and Sonja of ELMO's Odyssey. Bye.